All right. Hi, everybody. We're getting ready to record our new workout. Who's ready to work out? We have 3 sets of dumbbells today, light, medium, and heavy. It's all relative to what's appropriate for you. You can get away with 2 sets of dumbbells easily. And I also have a mat that I'm going to use today. You can use a towel or a yoga mat, something to protect you from the floor. And then today we're going to be using a chair as well. All right, so what we're gonna do is first we're gonna do demos of all the exercises, including modifications, or you can forward to where we start the warm-up. We'll post below that marker, so you can forward to where we start the warm-up if you don't wanna watch the demos or don't need the modifications. All right, so Tim, take it away.
Okay, so the first exercise we have today is going to be the dumbbell goblet lateral step squat.
Okay.
So this one's really awesome because we're working our core and our legs at the same time. So we're going to start with our feet together in the middle, the weight held nice and clean in the goblet position, where our hands are actually wrapped underneath the weight, holding it with our palms.
Yep.
So even if your fingers were loose, the weight is being held in your palms. Then we're going to take a medium to large step to the side, squat down, we're going to step all the way out, and then, so we're bringing our feet all the way together on each repetition. We're going side to side like this, so we always end up in that center position where we're standing tall with our feet together. Now, one thing that you'll notice is that Lisa always pushes her knees out so that her knees are following the toes as we go down into the squat. That gives us good alignment, make sure everything is safe and effective. Our modification for this one is if we have knee pain, first thing we can do is we can do reduced range of motion. We just don't have to go as low. You can do partial range of motion. And then if we have a lot of knee pain, we can do a hip hinge instead, which looks like this. It's basically no knee bend where we're bending from the hips. Lisa, can you show them the side view?
Yes.
So no knee bend where we're bending from the hips, instead driving the hips back. And this is if we have a lot of knee pain. Next, we're going down to the floor. We have the dumbbell plank pull through. So this one's very challenging. It can be a light, medium, or heavy weight based on your ability. And what we're going to be doing, we're holding the plank position first, core tight, body straight as a board. Wrists are directly underneath the shoulders, and then we're just pulling the weight across, alternating hands. If this is too challenging with a weight, what we can do instead is we call these elbow taps, where it looks like this, where instead of moving a weight, we're just tapping the elbows. That's the same thing, just a little bit easier. Now, if that's too difficult, we're going to do the same exercise, but we're going to do it elevated. You can do this on a sturdy chair, make sure it's sturdy at home, or a couch, and then we would do elbow taps in the elevated position, like that, for our easier modification. Next, we're doing the dumbbell snatch. Now, this one at home, not everyone is going to have enough mobility and range of motion in order to go all the way down to the floor. So Lisa's going to show you what it looks like with full range. Going all the way down to the floor looks like this. We start with the weight on the floor. We have our core tight, back straight. So you see Lisa's back is straight in the bottom position, and then we're driving up with the legs, finishing with the weight held all the way in the top position. So it's one quick movement all the way to the top. We're driving with the legs, the arms just finishing the movement. Now, if your mobility is not as good, which is going to be very common for a lot of people, you want to take a couple of different books or a small box where you can set the weight down in front of you.
Or a stool.
Yeah, a stool would work as well, or a small chair. And we're just going to go down. We're doing the same thing. We're just not going all the way to the floor. Now, this one's pretty tough, so you're not going to use a super heavy weight on this one. This would more likely be your medium weight or your light weight. The heavy weight would be really challenging for this one. Then we're going to do the dumbbell leave sit. We're going down to the floor. So we're going to show you the regular version first. So that looks like this. we're seated on the mat with our knees bent. We're leaning back so that the core is engaged, and then we're holding the knees up. We're taking our light weight and we're bending our knees, alternating. We're passing it underneath the legs, just like that. We're going to show you some modifications. First is you can always just take breaks to reduce how difficult it is on the core. So you could be doing it, you could stop, take a quick pause, and then start going again as a modification. Another way that you can do it is you can have your feet on the ground. And then, so this is the same thing, just with our feet on the ground. That makes it easier on the core. And then if we're not going all the way down to the ground, we can do a version of this in the chair. So we're going to be seated all the way at the edge of our chair, so we have plenty of room. We're going to be leaning back. We're going to be doing bicycles instead. So this will be without the weight. We're leaning back in the chair and just bringing the knees up towards the chest, holding the legs out just like that. That's going to be our seated modification.
If that's too hard.
Yeah, same thing. You can put set the feet down on the ground to make it easier if we need it to be less difficult. Next, we're going to the dumbbell squat to a rotational press. We have some modifications for these if we need it. Lisa's going to show you the regular version first. The weight starts on one side. We're going to squat down into it, get a nice clean pivot into the press. So the weight is on her right side, so she's pivoting that right foot, shifting the weight onto her left foot, pivoting with the right foot. And then when we do the other side, it's going to be exactly the same.
Yep. Let me demo.
Now, if we have knee pain, pretty simple. We're going to switch to a dip press where we're not going as low into the squat. It looks like this, just a little dip, and then boom, driving through the press. So it's the same thing, just not going as low into the squat. If we have shoulder pain, we're just going to drop it down to a lighter weight, or we can do it with no weight at all. We would want you to try a lighter weight first, and then you can switch to a very light weight or no weight at all if you need to. And that looks like that. Next, we're going to do a cardio exercise after that, which can be done in a high impact variation or a low impact variation. This is going to be a jumping jack to a front jack. Lisa will show you the regular high impact variation first. So we take the arms out to the side, and then the arms go in front. So it's a jumping jack and then a front jack. And then the low impact variation is going to be the exact same thing, stepping instead of jumping. So our feet are just not leaving the ground in a jumping form. Instead, we're just stepping out to the side.
And I do want to say, for some people, they get confused doing out and up in the center. If you get confused, just do a jumping jack.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then next we have the offset dumbbell deadlift. So this is going to be a heavy or a medium dumbbell held directly to our side. We're going to be in a fairly narrow stance like this. And then we're going to be driving the hips back and sitting down into it. We're keeping the core tight, and you see Lisa's back is straight. We're keeping the chest puffed out, the shoulder blades back, so our back is nice and straight throughout the movement. If we need it to be easier on the knees, we'll shift our position and make it into more of a hip hinge. So that looks like this, just less knee bend. And if we have any trouble with the back, we can do the same thing, but instead we'll do more knee bend, so your torso is more upright, and that's easier on the low back. So if we have low back or knee pain. Next, we're going to go to the chair. We're going to do the bent over reverse fly for the upper back.
So I like to grab the back of the chair for this. Okay.
And so our back is straight, our core is tight. You're supporting with the opposite hand, and then we're lifting the arms straight out. So the arm stays completely straight, and we're just going to about shoulder height. You don't need to go really high with this. Just to about shoulder height is ideal.
And palm is facing your body.
Yes.
And then when you get tired, when you get fatigued, you need very light weight, because this is very hard. When you get fatigued, drop the weight, finish it out without weight.
Yeah, so that's a very easy way to drop set it, because this is a very challenging position. That's what we'll do. Now on that one, if we have shoulder pain, we'll just be doing a row instead.
Let me done with that.
Sure.
If you have shoulder pain, just do a row.
Yeah, so that'll be the classic row with the hands supported on the chair. Our last one, finishing with some intense cardio, is going to be quick feet. So this one, we get into our athletic stance, bending the knees and hips a little bit, and then we're just moving the feet and arms as quickly as we can, just staying in place, but just trying to maintain a nice rhythm and go as quickly as you can throughout the time. Okay, so that's going to be it for our demos. We're going to go ahead and jump into the warm-up here, and then we'll get to it. So first, in our warm-up, we're going to place our hands on our shoulders, and we can do some big elbow circles. So nice and big, get as much range of motion as we can, really loosening up the shoulders and the neck, as well as the upper back. We'll go the opposite direction. How are you feeling today, Lisa?
Very good. I'm sore from the last workout, so the warm-up is very important when you're still sore from your previous workout.
Then we can go to some marching. Oh yeah, what part of the role that the warm-up plays is really loosening up the tissues, especially if you've worked out recently. It helps act as part of your recovery going from one workout into the next one. We'll go into our butt kicks. The warm-up is arguably always the most important part of the workout that we never want to neglect. That's why Lisa and I always insist upon it. And we're going to bring our arms up. We'll squeeze the shoulder blades back and then squeeze the chest forward. Not only does it aid us with our recovery from the previous workout, but it really preps us for what we're going to do today with our current workout. Next, we're going to loosen up the hamstrings a little bit. We're going to lift the legs straight in front, just like that. Now this one, you want to do as much range of motion as is comfortable. So you don't have to go as high as we're going. You're just going to go as high as you can comfortably, getting a nice stretch in the hamstrings, but you shouldn't feel any significant discomfort, no pain sensations, just a nice clean stretch there. We're going to go out to the side next with our legs straight. You should feel a little stretch in the inner thigh, and we're working the hip muscles a little bit, warming up the hips. We're going to do a couple more repetitions of these before we move along. Next, we're going to be going back to the upper body. We're going to lace our fingers behind the neck, stand really tall, and then we're going to push those elbows back as far as we can, getting a good stretch of the neck, shoulders, and the upper back each time on this one. If you press back really hard, you should be able to feel a good stretch. So that's what we really want to do. We're loosening up the shoulders. We're going to have a decent amount of shoulders today. We want to make sure they're good and loosened up before we get into these exercises. Next, we're going to set the feet apart a little bit, and we're going to squat down. We're going to reach down and then reach up to the top, just like that. Nice and controlled, not too fast. I'm really excited about today's workout.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, this one will be challenging, but it's also going to be a lot of fun. We've got some very unique movements in this one, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it today. We're going to set the feet apart, we're going to push the hips back, and we're going to alternate. One leg is mostly straight. We're getting a good stretch in the inner thigh there. You should be able to feel that pretty good. And we'll alternate a couple more times. Again, we're just going as low as is comfortable. Don't go as low if you have any trouble with the knees, or we don't want too big of a stretch, just a pretty good stretch going there. Next, we're going to bring the feet together. We're going to stand tall, hands in front. We're going to reach and rotate, look at that back hand, and we're going to alternate. There we go, just like that. Getting a good stretch on each one. And we're going to breathe through it. Just one more pair here. Then we're going to go to stretching the ankles next. Starting with our feet together, we're going to take a big step back, both feet pointed straight ahead. We're going to push the heel down, and we'll alternate, getting a good stretch of the calf and the ankle on this one. And then we'll take a quick break after we finish stretching our ankles, and then we're going to jump right in and get to this workout. Okay? We can take a quick break, breathe for a second, grab a sip of water if you need to, and then we're going to go ahead and jump right in to round one. I'm excited. I hope you guys are ready at home.
Thank you for working out with me. I keep thinking, okay, there's a bunch of people out there doing this workout, and it's helping me get through the workout.
So very first for today, we have that dumbbell goblet squat with a lateral step. So this is going to be a medium to a heavy weight. Remember, we're going to reduce the range of motion if we have any trouble with the knees. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1, go. So you can see Lisa's form is really good here. We're taking a big to medium step out to the side. We're really pushing the hips back, really pushing the knees out so the knees follow the toes. We're halfway there. Keep the core tight. We're staying pretty upright in the squat position as we do this. We've got 5 seconds left. Breathe through it. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and break. Okay, awesome. Next we're going down to the floor. We're going to get set up for the dumbbell plank pull through. So this one is going to be our first really challenging core exercise. Remember, we're going to be doing this with a fairly light weight. If you're able to, you can go with a medium or heavy weight. Just based on your ability, let's get set up. We can begin in 2, 1, go. Okay, that looks great. We've got our body straight as a board, making sure we're shifting our weight nice and clean from one palm to the other. We're halfway there. Keep your focus, keep the core tight. We don't want to shift our weight too much. You'll notice when Lisa's doing it, she's keeping her torso pointed straight at the ground. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1, and break. Awesome. Next, we're going to the dumbbell snatch. This is one of our power exercises. We're going to go with a medium to heavy weight. We're going to be driving up quickly with the legs. Remember, at home, if you're not able to go down to the floor, we want to use a little box or a couple of books or a stool to set the weight on. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1, go. So we're driving up quickly. We're alternating sides on this one.
Don't hit the face.
Yes. Be very careful not to hit yourself in the face with the weight. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is to make sure our back is straight when we go down into it so that we're really solid in the bottom position. 10 seconds left.
Power with the legs.
Breathe through it. 5 seconds. 2, 1, and break. Awesome. We looked powerful on that one. Next, we're going back to the core. We're going to go back down to the floor. We're going to do the dumbbell weave sit. So this is going to be a light to medium weight. Remember, this one's very challenging. Feel free to take a break if you need to. If you're not able to get through the full 30 seconds, that's okay. And we can also do our other modifications if needed. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. So we've got our knees bent, we're leaning back, really pulling the belly button in, keeping the core tight. Remember to not hold your breath when we're in a position like this. We want to focus on continuing our breathing with the rhythm. We're halfway there. Keep that focus. We're really feeling the core now. 10 seconds left. You can do it. Almost there. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, break. Awesome job with that one. Next, we're coming back up. We're going to be doing the dumbbell squat rotational press. So this is going to be a medium to heavy weight. We can drop it down to a light weight if we need to. The weight will start on the left-hand side with the weight on our shoulder. We're going to be sitting down into that squat and then nice clean pivot at the top of the movement where we drive into the press. But we're driving with the legs into the press. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Nice, that looks good. Okay, awesome. So we want really nice clean form on this. We're shifting the weight from the left foot to the right. So it's about 80-20 when we do that nice clean pivot. 80% of the weight is shifting onto the right foot. We've got 5 seconds left. Really power drive into that press. 2, 1, break. Great job on that one. Same thing, we're going to be switching sides. Now going to the right side. And remember, if we have any knee pain, we don't have to go as low in the squat. Or if we have any shoulder pain, we want to go with a lighter weight or no weight at all. Let's get to it. We're going to begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Again, focus on our breathing. Keep our core tight. really focus on our power. We're driving up quickly. Remember, the arm is just finishing the movement. We're really powering up with the legs. One fluid movement all the way throughout the body. 10 seconds left. Let's keep it going. Good drive, everyone. 5 seconds left. You can do it. Almost there. 2, 1, break. Okay, awesome job on that one. We'll put our weights to the side. Then we're going to our cardio next. We're going to be doing the jumping jacks to the front jacks. So we'll have our arms out to the side first, and then our arms in front after that, going back and forth, alternating. We do have the low impact variation if you need it, which is going to be stepping instead of jumping. Let's get set up. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, awesome. We're off to a great start. Remember, control your breathing. Don't hold your breath when you're doing this. And try to keep a nice rhythm going. Remember, you want to pace yourself. Slow down if you need to. 10 more seconds. We can always increase or decrease the intensity by speeding up or slowing down. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, break. Great job on that one. Next, we're going back to our strength. We have the offset dumbbell deadlift. We're going with a medium weight or a heavy weight held on one side. We're going to be in a narrow stance for this one. Remember, if we have any knee pain, we can turn it into more of a hinge, so more of a bend and with less knee bend but more hip bend. We're going to keep our back straight the whole time, really focusing on keeping the core tight and driving the hips back on this one. We can go ahead and get set up here. We're going to begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so really focus on your form there at home. We're really thinking about driving the hips back on each repetition. Think about touching the wall behind you with your hips. 10 seconds left. Yeah, if you get that image in your mind, you will really get some good glute activation. 5 seconds left, and that's really what we want here. 3, 2, 1, and break. Okay, we'll breathe for a second before we do the other side. One thing that you can pay attention to is when you're going down into the movement, so the weight will be in one hand, you want your hands to be even. So when you're going down into it, you can look at my hands. If my hands are even, that's how I know I'm not lopsided. If the hand with the weight is down below, then you know I am lopsided. So pay attention to what your hands are doing so that you have really nice, clean form. We can go ahead and get set up again on the other side. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, our form is nice and clean. We've got the chest puffed out. Now we're checking to see if our hands are even, making sure we're even on both sides, keeping that form nice and tight. Halfway there, breathe through it. Keep that focus as we go through this one. You're doing great. Awesome. Stay with us at home. 5 seconds left. You got it. 3, 2, 1, break. Awesome job. We've got, next we're going to our upper body. We have the bent over reverse fly. This one is going to be pretty lightweight. We're going to be supporting ourselves with one hand on the chair. The other arm is going to be straight, palm facing you. And then we're going to be lifting that straight arm right out to the side, nice and controlled. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. So we want to keep our chest puffed out. Our back is straight throughout the movement. And then our arm is straight as well. We're just going up to about shoulder height. Not too fast, and you don't really need to go higher than that. We've got 10 seconds left here, but nice and controlled. Really good engagement of the upper back muscles on this one. We have 3, 2, 1, break. All right, we'll breathe for a second, and then we'll go to the other side. One thing to remember on this one is it can be pretty challenging on the upper back muscles. If you need it to be more difficult, you can go a little bit slower on the way down. Really control the contraction. You'll really feel it in the upper back there. Let's get set up again. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, awesome. That's looking good. We're doing great. Good job, everyone. We are halfway there. Good, 10 seconds. Breathe through it. Keep that focus. Keep the core tight. Drop set it if you need to. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, break. All right, so on today's workout, we're gonna finish things out on each round with our last exercise being the quick feet. So finishing things off with some cardio. So we're just gonna stay in place and we're just moving the arms and feet as quickly as we can. Try and crank it out for the full 30 seconds. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. So we're going as quickly as we can. If you get tired, if you get a little bit fatigued, you can slow it down a little bit. Try and just maintain your pace throughout the entire time. We're halfway there. Breathe through it. Slow down if you need to, but try and crank through. 10 seconds left. You can do it. Breathe. We're doing great. 5 seconds. Almost there. Finish strong. 3, 2, 1, break. Okay. Awesome job, everyone. We're going to take a little bit of break. Take a minute to breathe. Remember, if at any time we're going a little bit too quickly for you, you can always press pause on that video. Leave for a minute, breathe for a second, go get a drink of water, and then come back, hit play on that video, and join us again. Now, one thing I want to talk about really quick is when we're going through these workouts, after the workout is over, something that we want to think about is what we're doing the other hours of the day surrounding the workout. So when we're thinking about our recovery, you always want to make sure, number one, that you're getting plenty of sleep. That's the most important thing when it comes to recovery. Also, want to pay attention to our nutrition. If you're not getting enough nutritious foods, we're not going to get good recovery from the workout. Our risk for injury is definitely going to go up. So sleep and nutrition is the very first two things that we want to pay attention to. But then also making sure we're stretching throughout the day and also staying mobile throughout the day, maybe going for a walk or moving around. But if you're sitting for too much of the day, you can get tightened up and then our recovery is not going to be as good going from one workout to the next. Okay, so we're going to get going on round 2 here. So starting again, we're going to begin with that dumbbell goblet lateral squat with a lateral step. And we can get set up here. We're going to begin in 3, 2, 1, go. We're using a medium to heavy weight here. Big step out to the side, nice and controlled. Are sitting deep into the squat. If you have any trouble with the knees, you don't have to go as low into the squat. We're halfway there. Keep a nice steady rhythm as we go through this. Bringing the feet all the way together in the top position. Breathe through it. We've got 5 seconds left. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, break. All right, great job on that one. We're going down to the floor next. We have the plank pull through. We're going to work on our core for this one. We're going to be using a light to a medium weight. This can be done without weight as well. If we need an easier variation, we're going to do this one elevated on a sturdy chair or on your couch at home. And if we need to do it without the weight, we're going to do elbow taps instead. Let's get set up. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so we're keeping a nice, stable position. This one's easy to adapt. If you need to make it a little bit easier, you can go with a wider stance with your feet. If you do a narrower stance, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So you can adjust accordingly based on how stable you feel. 5 seconds left, we're almost there. 3, 2, 1, break. Great job on that one, everyone. We're going to breathe for a second. Next, we're going to our power exercise. This is the dumbbell snatch. We're going to be using a light, medium, or heavy weight based on how strong you are. Usually this is going to be a medium to heavy weight, but if we have any trouble with the shoulders, we'll go a little bit lighter. We can go ahead and get set up for this one. Remember, if we don't have the range of motion, we do want to use a couple of books or a small stool or a box to set the weight on instead of going all the way down to the floor. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, good start on this one. Remember, we're going to take a deep breath and we're driving through the legs to the top position. The arms kind of just finishing the movement, the arms along for the ride, halfway there. but we're really driving up quickly, powerful with the legs. We're almost there. We've got 5 seconds left. A couple more good ones. 3, 2, 1, break. Awesome job on that one. Next, we're going back down to the floor. We can do this one on a chair if we're not going all the way down to the floor. We're going to do the dumbbell weave sit. So we're going to be in a seated position with our knees bent. We're going to be leaning back into it, bracing the core, pulling the belly button in so we get a really good contraction of the abdominal muscles the whole time for this one. So we can go ahead and get set up here. We're going to begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so we want to make sure we're looking up a little bit. We don't want to crane our neck and have the neck muscles tighten up, so we're leaning back. Our head is relatively in line with the rest of our back. We're halfway there. Breathe. Remember to not hold your breath in a position like this. 5 seconds left. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, break. Great job on that one. We're really feeling the core now. We're going to go back to a power exercise after this. We're going to the squat with a rotational press. So we're driving up quickly out of the press, and we're going to do a nice clean, we're driving up quickly out of the squat into a nice clean pivot into that press. But again, we're driving the weight, using the legs, the arms just finishing the movement. We can go ahead and get set up on the left-hand side. And let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, nice, good start, everyone. So we're shifting the weight all the way from one foot to the other. It's 80-20 when we get to that top position. So the foot that we're pivoting off of is going to be holding very little of our body weight. We're almost there. We've got 5 seconds left in this one. Breathe through it. 3, 2, 1, break. All right, great job on that one. We're going to breathe for just a second, take a quick break, and then we're going to be doing the same thing on the opposite side. I really love this one because we're getting some really good rotational action of the core, which resembles so many things in everyday life. And it's important to do rotational exercises in our routine so that the core is challenged in that way. We can go ahead and get set up again on the right-hand side now. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, nice, we're doing great. Getting into that squat and then driving up quickly. A nice clean pivot into that press. And we're halfway there. Keep our core tight, making sure we're controlling our breathing. Good job, we've got 5 seconds left. Let's push through. 3, 2, 1, break. Okay, excellent job on that one. Next, we're going to do some cardio. We're doing the jumping jacks to the front jacks. Remember, we do have the low impact variation for this one. If we're not jumping, we're going to be stepping instead of jumping for this one. And remember, we can adjust the intensity. We can go faster to make it more difficult, or you can slow it down to make it less difficult. So adjust accordingly based on your pace. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, here we go. Let's get into that rhythm and breathe through it. We're looking good so far. Nice, we're already halfway there. Keep it going. Doing great. 10 seconds left. You got it. Breathe. Keep that focus. 5 seconds now. You're almost there. 3, 2, 1, break. All right, great job on that one. We're moving along. Next, going back to our strength, we've got the offset dumbbell deadlift. So we're working the legs, we're working the core on this one too. Remember what we mentioned in the first round, we're looking down to see if our hands are even. That's how we know we're challenging the core appropriately, and the back is in a safe and effective position when we look down and our hands are even. That's how we know we're not lopsided. We can go ahead and get set up on the left-hand side with the weight at our side. Let's begin in 2, 1, go. Really driving the hips back, keeping the core tight, checking our hands again. Now we want to make sure we're keeping the head in line with the rest of the spine. So we're not looking up when we're doing this one, we're looking down just a little bit. 10 seconds left, breathe through it. Keep that focus on this one. We've got 5 seconds, we're almost there. You can do it. 2, 1, break. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna breathe for a second, then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Remember, if you need a longer break, press pause on that video, get a sip of water, and then you can come back and join us again. All right, we're gonna be switching, same thing on the opposite side. We're on the right side now. We'll get set up here. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we're off to a good start here. Let's get that focus. All right, we're staying strong. Halfway there, keep it going. Nice, I love this exercise. We're almost there. We've got 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, break. Awesome, that one's one of my favorites. I love the core work and the glute work. Next, we're gonna break our chair out again. We're switching back to the upper body. So we're gonna use a sturdy chair or a couch. We have one hand supporting us, the other arm is going to be straight, and we're lifting up to about shoulder height. This is gonna be with a fairly light weight. If we need to drop set it, we can actually use no weight at all, because if we drop set it like that, we're still using the weight of the arm as well to continue to challenge the shoulder. Let's begin in 2, 1, go. All right, so we're keeping the core tight, keeping the back straight in this one, maintaining our position. And we're only going up to about shoulder height. We don't really need to go higher than that. We're halfway there. Nice and controlled, not too fast on this one. Slow and controlled is better, because we get a really nice contraction of the muscle. 3, 2, 1, break. Awesome, we'll breathe for just a second. Then we'll be switching to the opposite side, same thing on the other arm. We're doing great. We're getting towards the end of round 2 here. Let's get set up again. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, that looks good. We're off to a great start. Nice and controlled. Breathe through it. Getting a really good contraction of those upper back muscles. Halfway there. Good. Breathe. Keep that focus. Nice. We've got 5 seconds left. We're almost there. Finish strong. This is a great set. 2, 1, break. Awesome. That was a great set. Okay, we made it to the end here. Our last one.
Let's crush it. Ready?
We're doing our cardio. Okay, we've got our quick feet next. We're setting up that athletic position. We're going to go as quickly as we can. Keep a nice pace going. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, there we go. Breathe. Good start here. Keep that pace going. Stay with us. We're halfway there. Crank it out. You can do it. Breathe. Keep that focus. 10 seconds left. Almost there. You got it. 5 seconds left. Push through. 3, 2, 1, break. All right. Great job, everyone. Good job there at home. We're going to take a little bit of a break here. Get some water. Breathe for a minute. That's the end of round 2. That means we've got 2 down and only 1 to go. How are we feeling so far, Lisa?
Good. This is a fun workout, if I
Yeah.
can say so myself. But I really love this one.
Yeah, I like this one because we're getting a lot of core work, but I like the cardio aspects
Yeah.
as well.
With strength. I love that too. And also, it's interesting, we're working the rear delts. You don't need much weight at all for you to feel that rear delt muscle getting fatigued.
Yeah, those are some of my favorites. I love working the upper back muscles, especially in a wide variety of different ways, because those are the types of exercises that really aid our posture and help us stay tall and confident throughout the day. Makes us feel good all the time.
Good point.
Yeah. Okay. Remember, if you need a longer break, press pause on that video, and then you can come back and join us once you're ready. We're going to get going on round 3 here. So third and final round, we're starting again with that dumbbell goblet lateral step squat. We'll get set up here with the dumbbell in the goblet position. We'll begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Nice clean form on this one. When we step out to the side, we're really pushing those knees out so that the knees follow the toes. We have everything in good alignment. So we have really solid form. We're halfway there. Remember to keep the core tight and breathe through it on this one. We're doing great. Check your form there at home. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, break. Awesome job on that one. Next, we're going to the core on the floor. We're doing the plank with the dumbbell pull through. This is going to be a light to medium weight. Remember, we can do it elevated if we're doing the modification. If it needs to be a little bit easier, you can do it on a sturdy chair or a couch. Know which modification is good for you. Let's go ahead and get set up for this one. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, remember this one's easy to modify. If we need it to be a little bit easier and more stable, we can go wider stance with the feet. If we need it to be a little bit harder, bring those feet in with a narrower stance. We're halfway there. Keep the core tight and breathe. Never hold your breath when we're doing a core exercise like this. We've got 5 seconds left. We're almost there. You got it. 3, 2, 1, break. Awesome job on that one. Very good. Next, we're going back to our power. We're switching to the dumbbell snatch. Remember, we're alternating arms on this one. You can do it with a box or a small stool. We don't have the range of motion to go all the way down to the floor. This is going to be a medium weight or a heavy weight. Remember, we're focused on the power. This is one solid movement driving from the bottom to the top using the legs. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, good start. Really powerful start from the bottom, driving all the way to the top position. The top position, we call it the catch, because there's that tiny pause at the right at the top where you're catching it, and you're in a really strong, tall position. We're almost there. A couple more, 5 seconds left. Last one, 2, 1, break. Great job on that one. Very strong finish. We're going to go down to the floor. We're doing the dumbbell weave position. Remember, we're going to be seated with the feet back. The knees are slightly bent. We're leaning back in this position. Pulling the belly button in. Really good core engagement on this one. Remember, if you get a little bit too fatigued on this one, you don't have to do it exactly the same way the whole time. You can drop set it by taking a quick break and then getting back down into it, or you can set the feet down in between each repetition if you need to do that. Let's get set up here. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. There we go, looking good. Remember, we're keeping the head up. We're not craning the neck forward. We don't want to tense up the neck muscles too much. We're breathing through it. We're halfway there. Remember to control your breathing with the rhythm of the exercise. We're almost there. We've got 5 seconds left. You can do it. 3, 2, 1, break. Awesome job. We're feeling the core now. That was great. We're going back to our power again now with the dumbbell squat to a rotational press. Nice clean pivot on this one like we talked about before. Remember, we're doing a medium to heavy weight. If we have any trouble with the shoulder, we can do it with a light weight or no weight at all. So we're going to start on the left-hand side first with the weight on the shoulder. Let's get set up here. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we're looking for that good clean pivot, a nice drive into the top position with this one. Awesome, we're halfway there. Breathe, keep that focus. Remember, we can drop set, at Lisa's doing a drop set here, where if you fatigue a little bit, you can drop it down to a lighter weight and finish out the set that way. We have 3, 2, 1, break. All right, great job. Let's breathe for a second. Grab a sip of water if you need to. If you need a longer break, you can press pause on that video for a moment. Come back and join us when you're ready. So Lisa did a drop set there, which means we start with a heavier weight, we drop it down to a lighter weight to finish out off the set. So that way, if we get fatigued, we're still getting the most out of each set that we can by still finishing it out strong. Just switching to a lighter weight in the middle. Let's get set up here. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that looks great. We're off to the races. We're keeping our core tight, focusing on breathing with the rhythm of the exercise. We're halfway there. Remember, this is power, so we're driving up quickly with the legs into the press. We're almost there. We've got 5 seconds left now. 3, 2, 1, break. Okay, awesome job. We're doing a great work on round 3 here. Now we're switching to cardio. We're doing the jumping jacks with the front jack alternating. We do have the low impact variation if you need to do stepping instead of jumping. We're going to breathe for a second before we get into it here. We'll give you a little bit longer of a break. Grab a sip of water if you need to, and then we're going to get back into it. We're about halfway through round 3. Let's get set up. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, good start. We want a nice, clean rhythm here. Remember, go faster if you want it to be more intense. Slow it down a little bit if you're fatigued. You need it to be less intense. We're almost there. 10 seconds left. Stay with us. You got it. Only 5 seconds left. We're almost there. You got it. 3, 2, 1, break. Awesome. We're going to breathe for a second. Then we're going back to our strength with the offset dumbbell deadlift. Remember, we have the weight on one side. We're looking for really clean form. We're looking down to see if our hands are even so that our back is straight and we're protecting the spine while keeping the core tight. We're getting really good core work because of the offset position. That's making our core work harder on this one. Let's get set up. Good tall posture, chest puffed out. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Remember, when we do a deadlift like this, think about driving the hips back towards the wall behind you, touching the wall behind you with your hips. That visualization helps you get good glute activation, really solid form on this one. We've got 10 seconds left. A few more good repetitions on this one. 5 seconds, almost there. 3, 2, 1, break. Great job. We're going to breathe for a second. Then we're going to be doing the same thing on the opposite side. We're getting there. We are only have a few more exercises in round 3. We're getting towards the end of the workout.
Almost there.
I hope you're feeling good there at home. We're
it.
feeling good here. Let's go ahead and get set up. Same thing on the opposite side. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we're looking good. Chest puffed out. We've got a really strong position with the upper back. Core is tight. We're breathing through it. We are halfway there. A few more good repetitions on this one. Breathe through it. 5 seconds left. You got it. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, break.
Good job.
Great job. All right, next we're switching back to the upper body. This is the dumbbell bent over reverse squat. We're using a light weight on this one. This one doesn't need to be done with a very heavy weight because, as you know, it's quite challenging all on its own. If we need to drop set it, you can actually drop set it with no weight at all because we're using the weight of our arm for that one. Let's get set up. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we're starting off in a really good position. Our hips are back, our back is straight. Going to about shoulder height, nice and controlled, not too fast on this one. We're halfway there. That control is giving us some really good contraction of the upper back muscles. 5 seconds left, breathe through it. We're almost there, you got it. 2, 1, break. Awesome job on that one. Next, we're going to be switching to the opposite side. We're getting there. We only have 2 more exercises left in this workout. Feeling good? Let's go ahead and get set up there. Supporting ourselves with the chair, we can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, good start, solid position. We're breathing through it, core tight. Looking good. Good job there at home. We're halfway there. Stay with us. 10 seconds left. You can do it. Good. 5 seconds left. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, break. All right, everyone. We are crossing the finish line here. We've got one more exercise. Like we talked about, we're finishing strong with our cardio. We've got the quick feet going here. We're starting in that athletic position. We're going to try and finish really strong. So let's crank it out. Let's go as quickly as we can this time. Keep a nice, steady pace. Let's get set up. We can begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. As we're going fast, remember to breathe. Control your breathing. Keep that pace going. Crank it out. We're doing great. Okay, halfway there. Stay with me. 10 seconds left. You got it. Breathe. 5 seconds left. Almost there. Finish strong. 3, 2, 1. Break. All right, we did it.
Good job. Virtual high fives.
Great job, everyone there at home. How you feeling, Lisa?
Fantastic. That was really fun.
That was a great workout. That was awesome.
And we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.